Imagine being judged on how smart, focused, or motivated you are at 7:30 in the morning. That's before you even had time for breakfast, or maybe before the sun is even up. Now imagine that your future, your grades, your college chances, your career path is tied to how well you perform at that time of day. Sounds kind of unfair, right? But that's exactly what high school students all across the country go through every single weekday. As a high school student myself, I know how it feels to drag yourself out of bed while it's still dark out, rush through getting dressed, skip breakfast, and stumble half asleep into your first class. I felt the crushing tiredness, the stress, the foggy-headed confusion when a teacher starts a lesson at 7:45 a.m. and expects everyone to be alert and ready to learn. It's not that I don't care. It's not that other students don't want to succeed. It's that our bodies and brains simply aren't built to function that early in the morning. That's why I believe strongly that high school should start later in the day. It's not about being lazy or avoiding responsibilities. It's about giving teenagers a chance to actually thrive. Starting school later would help students feel better, do better in school, live healthier, more balanced lives. Let's start with the science. Teenagers aren't just staying up late because we're on our phones or wasting time on social media. There's something much deeper going on. During the teen years, our internal body clocks shift. This means that we naturally fall asleep later at night and wake up later in the morning. It's not a bad habit, it's just how the teenage brain develops. Because of this, asking teens to wake up at 5:30 or 6 to catch a bus or to get to school by 7:30 is like asking adults to wake up at 3 a.m. every day. It just doesn't make sense. It's no wonder that so many of us are exhausted all the time, and that exhaustion has serious consequences. Lack of sleep doesn't just make us tired, it messes with our entire body. It increases sickness, anxiety, and depression, weakens the immune system, and makes us more likely to get sick every day. It also affects our health, our heart health, our weight, and our ability to make good decisions. According to the CDC, teenagers need about 8 to 10 hours of sleep each night. But studies show that teens are getting far less than that, and early school start times are a big reason why. The CDC actually recommends that middle and high schools should start at 8:30 a.m. or later to support teen health. But the crazy thing is, most schools still haven't made that change. That means students are being forced into unhealthy sleep schedules. We're paying the price with our health and well-being. Now let's talk about academics. Isn't school supposed to be a place where we learn, grow, and prepare for the future? Then why are we setting students up to learn when their brains are still half asleep? Sleep is like fuel for the brain. When we are well rested, we can focus better, think more clearly, and actually retain the information we're being taught. When schools start too early, it's like trying to drive a car without gas. It's not gonna work. There's plenty of research that shows how later start times improve students' improvements. In schools that have moved their start times to 8:30 or later, grades went up. Test scores improved, students were more likely to finish their homework, more likely to participate in class, and less likely to fall asleep during lessons. Attendance also improved. Some schools even saw graduation rates increase after switching to later start times. That's a big deal. It shows that this isn't just about being more comfortable, it's about changing lives and improving futures. But the benefits of later start times go away beyond schoolwork. They affect everything else in students' lives too. Schools that pushed back their start times saw fewer problems. There were fewer fights, fewer suspensions, and fewer incidents of students acting out. Teachers and parents noticed a difference. Students were more engaged in class discussions, more respectful, and more positive. They were easier to talk to and seemed more motivated. All of that because it all comes back to sleep. When we get enough rest, we feel better. We think more clearly and make better choices. So let's think about this one more time. Early school start times are bad for teen health. They make it harder to focus and learn. They increase stress, anxiety, and illness. But when we let students get more sleep, everything improves. Grades, behaviors, attendance, moods, even long-term health. If we really care about helping students succeed, then we need to start by giving them what they need to succeed. That means giving them enough sleep. It's not a luxury. It's not about being lazy. It's about respecting what science tells us and supporting young people in the best way possible. It's time to hit the snooze button on those early start times once and for all. Let teens sleep. Our futures depend on it.